Hey friends, Pat here. Today we are looking at this, the Samsung Gear S2 Classic smartwatch. And first of all, its biggest downfall, I'm gonna let you know straight off the bat, is that it's using Samsung's own proprietary software called Tizen. But if that's the worst thing, is it actually any good? Well, let's get into it, guys. Join me for a little journey into if the Gear S2 is still good, even though the Gear S3 is out. Well, first of all, this thing is expensive, pretty darn expensive. When I initially saw it in the shops at JB's, about $568, and that was before the S3 Gear one came out, and I'm not sure how much it is now. It's a little bit lower, but it's still around the $500 mark. It still matches up pretty well to the S3. But you might ask yourself, did I buy it for that much? No, I definitely did not. I got it from Kogan for $299 on special because they seem to have everything cheaper. It came from France. This watch was set to the French language and the box was French. Everything about it was French. And so that's what you might expect when you buy online from a place like Kogan. Now, as you can see, it's a beautiful watch. Genuine leather straps. So let's just start with the outside and the look of it. I am super keen on the look. It looks great, stylish, and remember this is the classic version. It does differ from the standard one. It's got a metal body. These straps are not proprietary. They are 20mm straps, and look, out of the box, they look really nice. But the straps to me are far too small for my hand anyway. So for me, is this for kids? Is this a kid's toy? I mean, look at my wrist. I think it's an adult's wrist. I don't think I have gigantic wrists, but this is far too small. So I've actually already ordered a different strap from eBay, which you might see me wearing for next couple of videos once it actually arrives. And so I'm getting rid of this genuine leather. But that's the cool thing about the classic version, is that you can do this with it. The non-classic version has a proprietary lock system that you then have to have an adapter that you buy from Samsung to strap on normal size straps. So that's the look. It's nice. And one of the cool features about it is the spinny little bezel that if you watch me spin through there, you can see that it's flicking through all the little options and back to the main screen, which is the watch face there. That is pretty cool. It's a very nice way to navigate through your watch. I did find myself using the touchscreen a little bit, but the bezel was enough for me to actually make use of it. I actually thought it might be just a gimmick, but no, it was actually super useful. So guys, if you are picking this up, have a look at the shop, how it actually spins. It's a very nice and comfortable spin and super responsive. I have to admit, the responsiveness of this watch is out of this world. Could be because it's got its own proprietary software that matches up with the hardware, you know, Tizen, but you know, it works really well. First thing you gotta remember the software is make sure you update it out of the box because a lot of the apps have been updated and weren't working correctly, and I was sort of annoyed that they weren't working until I figured out that you have to update, which is a mission in itself through the software built into your phone, the Samsung Gear software. But look, I updated and it was working fine now. So just don't stress when you get out of the box and the apps aren't working as well as they should. The next thing is the back. It has a heart rate monitor, a stress monitor, which to me does not make sense. How do you measure stress? Apparently it's like the irregularities of your heartbeat. That's what I googled around, but I really couldn't find anything precise. Samsung hasn't really been forthcoming in the information about this, even in their S3 lineup. And so that's the look of it. It is waterproof, it is wireless charging, and look, it's kind of scratch proof. I did hit a little bit of a brick on the side, and my house's brick I hit with the watch with my hand and didn't scratch at all. Maybe it was light, maybe it was, you know, I don't know. The screen itself has some sort of glass that is very protective, so that's all you gotta know. It won't die on you too quickly. It is small, so on a larger wrist like mine, it does feel small. The S3 is a lot bigger, but it is also a lot fatter, and I think this is just the right fatness. But in saying that, this fatness means that the battery inside is a little bit smaller. And that's what I'm gonna get into with this. The battery on this is pretty atrocious. Now, hear me out. Yes, Samsung came out and said that this is much better battery than the Apple Watch, but that's because they have something in the system that turns this screen completely off when there's no movement. So if I cover it, it'll turn off. With a little bit of movement and stuff, it should turn back on. But it's not always working. Not always. And that's the problem. If I'm buying a watch, I kind of want to look at it without having to flick my wrist in a specific manner so it works. But I just want to look at it and make sure I can see the time. The battery lasts a lot longer with this feature, but then I found a little option to make the screen stay on. And I thought, yes, finally I can make the screen stay on, I can charge it every night, whatever, I don't need 2 days out of this watch, but it only lasts about 5 hours. And it's not even this face that I've selected that is the always on. It goes into this really stupid, like, low bit rate watch face that is really not even bright. And that's what I realized. Always watch on face, the option there doesn't leave this face on it. And I was calling these faces the watch faces. It puts on some random one that you can't change and you can't turn off. There's no option to change at, unfortunately. So, guys, this watch is a little bit weird. It feels like everything in it is made for the user, except in one occasion where the battery is pretty darn crappy when the watch is always on. Now let's compare that to the LG watch, the G1 basically. It was like the first watch. It's not as pretty, it is almost the same size, but it is a rectangle. As you can see, I've got a nice band here. I absolutely love this. And it was waterproof too, not wireless charging, it had pins. But after a while the pins stopped working, and I think wireless charging overall is a better solution for a waterproof phone. But what I liked about this one is the battery lasted all day and the watch face was always on. It went a little bit dark after a while, as in the brightness went down, but it was always on. And this comparison with this watch, that's the issue I'm having. If this had one of those things where it just sort of went really dark, like to a single brightness, like single lumen or something, that would be fantastic. And it would probably save a lot of battery, but instead it goes to a dark screen or turns off completely. And I can't forgive that, because a watch is supposed to be quick and easy to look at. If it takes me more time to look at the time on this watch than it does to look at my phone, what is the point of a watch? Well, I guess it's not a very good watch, is it? But it is stylish, it is smart. You do see notifications, you can change those watch faces onto things that are pretty darn cool. And you know what? It does help you a little bit about if you are one of those people who want to track their steps, track their exercise, want to go swimming with it. It does do all that. And for $299, compared to a Fitbit, with all the extras that it comes with, it's actually not too bad of a choice for somebody who likes to do a lot of exercise. But for somebody who's looking for a smartwatch that is a good watch at first, and then does all these other extras as bonuses, well, I don't know. I don't know if I can recommend this as a cool watch. As a smartwatch with a lot of neat features, yes. But then it's limited by the amount of apps that you can put on it. Tizen is limited. It's another fallacy by Samsung, another mistake that states that, oh, we're going to try to do ourselves, but then we're going to try and get as close to the Android watch. It's just not working. They should have done Android watch. It should have been that. All the apps are getting built by a lot of developers for Android watch, and it should have been an Android watch. Instead, they built Tizen with a limited amount of apps, and the battery life on this is pretty crap if you want to have an always on display, which isn't even always on, and that absolutely pisses me off that it's not like that. You know what? Why do you buy a beautiful watch that is got the ability to change those watch faces when you never get to see that really cool watch face? What's the absolute point? For $300 you can buy a really nice watch that's going to do all the things that watches do. And why do I not bring up how all these other features, we can read your messages, flick through the time, call people? Why am I not talking about that? Because it's standard. It's standard with every smartwatch to do that. There is nothing special about this watch except its style. The Motorola G Watch would probably be much better, but the battery sucks on that too. And the design, well, the screen is much bigger, but guys, Samsung, come on. You could have done so much with this. Even the S3 is not that much better. It's just bigger. Bigger battery. Does it really fix all the issues? Not so much. It's the same darn software. And it's a lot more expensive too. So guys, thank you very much for watching my little quick review of the, the Gear S2. It's beautiful. It's stylish. Get rid of these leather straps because they're terrible. But overall, it's really just another smartwatch in the lineup that is getting a little bit out of hand. And I guess that's the thing. The market for smartwatches is looking for something very unique, but workable. Something that will work for everyone and do everything. And not be a half-assed attempt at a watch. This is a half-assed attempt. Everything in it is almost perfect, except the things that make it a watch. Except the things that I want it to do for me. It does everything pretty well, but just those little things that make it stand out from the crowd and from other watches. Even things like this that cost $99. Really? Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in another video. Stay subscribed, like, dislike, do whatever, let me know why, and comment below what you think of the Galaxy S3 2 gearbox thingy, whatever. It's cheap now. It's better than the S3 because it's cheaper. That's why you should buy it. If you want a smartwatch, it's right there. Thank you very much.